Yeah, the French played their part, by the way. Yep. There was two fantastic teams. I think they were the best two teams left in the tournament, Australia and France. And I think they proved on the evening that was the case. They went at each other. You know, France started better, then the Matildas came into it. They smashed France after the half-time for about 15 minutes. It looked like they were going to roll them over. Then France clawed their way back in, and of course, it ended up 0-0, and then we had a 17-minute penalty shootout. 20 shots. 20 shots.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, I watched most of it like this. It was so
It doesn't happen very often.
I think we all did, but you talk about the emotions. We all rode the emotions, didn't we? Up and down with the goals and the misses. But Courtney Vine, how good was that? She was that steely resolve. It looked like the right level in the most intense situation you could be in on a sporting field.
And for penalties, I mean, I missed a penalty in the grand final. We're not going to go back on that.
We've got that footage, actually.
But anyway, I always like when... The one thing, it's a set piece. So the ball is on the penalty spot. The goal will never move. Once you've looked at the goal, it ain't going to move. So she was focused on the ball and what she was going to do, and she did it.
Is it based around, Tony, quickly, around what the goalkeeper is doing, or have you got your set shot that you're most confident with and that's what you go to?
I think only the most talented players that have ever played the game have that ability to actually approach a ball and watch the keeper and guess where they're going. I never had that. I don't think many players do. More or less, it's you concentrate on the ball, you've decided where you're going to hit it, and you hope for the best.
It was a great collective moment for the nation, though, wasn't it? And few sports offer that to us, and few events offer that to us. And people talk about that moment. As you see, if we gathered and as one supporting this team, and there's all ticks with the Matildas. People love them because of who they are and what they represent.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really ignited our nation. And you just see by everyone's Instagrams or Twitter or what you're seeing on the news, everyone around the world just watching the Matildas. And there was one vision of an aeroplane and all the passengers, just except for I think one person,
I saw that.
just cheering when they won. And it's got that same feel as what the Sydney Olympics did.
All right, let's break it down a little bit more, if you wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't know whether Mackenzie Arnold has two first names or two last names, but we all know and love her. It was an extraordinary effort from her, wasn't it?
Yeah, this poor girl missed two. This is the one where she gets to retake it, isn't it? And
no, I think that's the other side.
The other one? Yeah, the other
then
one.
She steps up and has the chance to
she flushed that too, didn't she?
Now she stepped out to take that, but she's able to recover mentally to go and do that.
Yeah, that's the second
a big
one.
thing.
Absolutely.
That's a big
Rob,
thing.
can I ask, does the goalkeeper know or assume that they know where the kicker is going to put it?
Yeah.
Because they do their research on them?
Yeah, of course they do. They do lots. And I think if you see, it's the best point, Laurie, because if you see Steph Catley, who'd already scored two penalties in the tournament, Steph went on a third penalty in the penalty shootout exactly the same way, which showed you that the French keeper had studied what Steph did and gambled on her doing exactly the same thing, and she did.
So what was the mistake Arnold make? Are you not allowed to come forward off that?
Yeah, you can't come forward off the line. You can go sideways, but not forward before the kick was.
Okay.
Can I say, I saw the replays. I was shocked because I thought just about every goalkeeper you could literally have an argument that because I think the one straight after where the girl got to take it two times. I thought she came off the line more than the first one. So, anyway, that was a tough moment to get over as well.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about the penalty takers and, of course, Mackenzie Arnold. But Mary Fowler, she was key to much of the good stuff. Have a look. Talk us through some of this. She's really impressed across the tournament.
Yep. This one, she doesn't know that girl's coming.
Yes.
And if she'd had a little glance behind her, and you've only got a millisecond.
Yeah, she thought she had an open goal there, didn't she?
But for me, she was the player of the match. And there wasn't a bad player on the pitch, France or Australia. But for me, she stood out with her technique. She's got this ability to have she looks like she's always got time on the ball. She hits that one straight at the keeper. She deserved a goal in this game, but she just didn't get one. But her influence on this team since Canada has just been immense.
And do you think she'll be the X factor going into this game against England? With half of the Matildas playing in England in the Super League, she plays for Man City, hasn't played a lot of time, so she is relatively unknown to them.
And that's a great point. And I think she can because England are very physical. They've been excellent defensively. They haven't hit any great heights, England, but what they've done is they've only conceded 2 goals in the tournament. Their backline of Jess Carter, Millie Bright and Alex Greenwood have been outstanding, along with the goalkeeper Mary Earps. So, Australia are going to have to break them down. And in that physical area, that's where Mary Fowler, I think, we've got the player who's different. She's technical, she's good short passer, good long passer, and she has no fear.
She also looked to me, Robbie, she's got great anticipation.
Yep.
When she's delivering the pass or getting herself in position to receive a pass.
And getting in position to score. Although she missed those chances, she has this ability, the way Gustafson is playing her, to ghost in late, unmarked into the penalty area. But I can tell that Tony's
you mentioned the great man. So do we dare to dream? Can we go all the way?
Yes.
Here is what Coach Tony Gustafson had to say.
I genuinely really believe that this team can do create history in so many ways, not just winning football games, but the way that they can inspire the next generation, how they can unite a nation, how they can leave a legacy that is much bigger than 90-minute football. And I think that why is also why I believe in them so much. That is a powerful tool that it's very difficult to stop. And I've sensed that from day one working with this team. The inner drive and the why is what gets them to where they are today.
I love him.
I love him.
I know you.
So if Sam Kerr starts, does he change a formation?
No, he keeps it the same.
Keeps the same formation?
He doesn't play with 2 false 9, but he'll play with... Obviously, Kerr's a 9.
Yes.
But Mary Fowler will stay in behind. You keep Caitlin Ford left and Hayley Razzo, who's on 3 goals, still a chance at the Golden Boot on the right-hand side. But the great thing about Gustafson having him there, and since Nigeria, I think he's been faultless. But he sat there in 2015 with the USA and won the World Cup, so he knows what it takes. He sat there in 2019, 4 years ago, as assistant manager in both, and won the World Cup with his manager. So he knows what to say and how to handle this kind of pressure. It's a big thing, really.
Yeah.
You also, and the big question, you've kind of answered about Sam Kerr, whether she starts tomorrow, I guess is key. The energy in the room lifted as soon as she came on, didn't it?
Robbie, are you concerned that she's only had about an hour of high-intensity play, going into the semi-final?
Well, let's be... when she comes on, what a save. When she comes on, and Tony Gustafson said it, they didn't expect it to go to...
Would you
extra
start
time,
her?
so she actually got more time than what they were planning on. I would start her. Yeah. I think the English Fearer, she's the best player in England, best goal scorer. I think Mary Earps is not... she doesn't like playing...
No, absolutely. Well, she's got a great record against her, Sam Kerr. Yeah. She scored 8 goals in the 7 games they've played against her in the EPL over there. So.
And that plays a part.
Absolutely. How much will it take out of the Aussies, though, Robbie, going into extra time and the English only played that 90 minutes?
And they played in Sydney, we played in Brisbane, so you've still got to travel. We know it's not far, but still you've got to pack it up and you've got to get on. 3-day turnaround, extra time, and the penalty shootout was 17 minutes of emotion.
Not to mention playing in your home country.
That's right. And England, 90-minute game. They did well. They were 1-0 down. They come back to win 2-1.
So they've got some injury concerns and of course, the suspension. That's
Lauren
key.
James.
Lauren James is key, isn't it?
100%. They lost their best player a few months ago, Beth Mead, who got player of the tournament. She's a striker. And she did her ACL, I think. So she was ruled out. She was the player of the Euros. And Lauren... of course, was their other gun, and we saw what she did against China, and it cost her 2 games. So she's only available for what we hope is the 3rd and 4th playoff.
Is there any... I mean, you guys know this is... When you come off such an emotional high as the Matildas have to go into this game, and there was a pretty short turnaround.
Yeah, it's difficult, and that's one thing they'll have to guard against. But playing... here in front of 80,000 people is another special moment. Yep. So I think you just ride that wave. You get yourself into a situation where you actually believe that you're invincible and you can win. And I think that's what the girls are going through at the moment. They will go and play wherever, at any time, at any stadium. That's their mentality, and they're doing such a wonderful job, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they go out there and looked even more energised than what they were last weekend.
Love it. All right, just back to the shootout for a second. I can't leave it. Without a hint of hyperbole, people who missed the moment will forever regret it. And as you said, Candice, they watch it from every vantage point. This is that flight you were talking about. And the key question, you're absolutely right, is the bloke you can see there who's watching Lord of the Rings. It came out in 2001. 2001. You've had plenty of time to go and see that film.
Oh, that's gold.